Record. Yeah, I know. You will sign up for this. All right. Let me go ahead and. All right. So, I need to add a title for. Add a title for Deal Machine. Why it is awesome. All right. Now we have a title. So we should be able to go live now, right?
Love it.
Maybe. Yep. I think we're going live. Maybe.
There we go. Perfect. Looks like it.
Meeting is streaming. So
yeah,
it's funny because the page over here hasn't opened yet, so it doesn't. Oh, look at that. We are live. We are indeed.
Fancy.
I should share that somewhere. Hey, everybody checking this out. You should definitely comment down below and let me know if you're watching this live or if you are on the replay squad. We don't do enough live videos, and I want to know if you guys want more of these. But I am here today with Matt Camp of Deal Machine, and he and I were talking last week about working out some possible discounts for the mastermind and doing some affiliate stuff. And I just didn't realize how much the app had updated and just how all the features worked, and it's incredible. And since I'm a fan of Deal Machine, I wanted to bring him on to talk about it. For those of you who don't know, Deal Machine and I go back about 3 years, probably. My buddy, we had 2 years, 3 years, something like that. My buddy Jin, who I tagged in this, he and I used to, if you ever watched the early versions of the Military Millionaire YouTube channel, Jin and I would like run around Hawaii, driving for dollars. Like we'd be like screaming through parking lots and through streets, and like it was like a mix of like jumping into garage sales so that I could like find cheap stuff to try to flip, and looking for junk houses, like houses that were tipping over on their side or vacant or whatever. And we would take out Deal Machine, and he would be driving, or I would be driving, and he would be like taking pictures out the car as we were driving by. And so Deal Machine, the way it works is you take a picture of the house, and then you can send a postcard to that house that says, "Hey, I saw your house," and it's like a picture, so they know you actually saw the house.
Actual picture you took.
Yeah, it's super cool. And then you can do everything. You send it, they get the postcard, and then obviously it's just like a mail out, but it's super automated, super convenient, and a little bit more personal because there's a picture you took of the house, which was fun because some of them were probably had like my face as he's like trying to lean across me to take the picture of the house. But we had a lot of fun with it. We didn't do a ton of deals, probably because we didn't follow up nearly as much as we should have. But I know Jin got one deal that just completely paid for everything for the whole year and then some. And I bird dogged a deal, and we had some really hot leads that we ended up handing to somebody. And I think they were able to close one of them when we left Hawaii. I don't really know why we handed it to somebody instead of just following up from remote, but nonetheless, big fan of the platform. And so I wanted to bring Matt in to kind of talk about some of the updates because he's better at that than I am. So welcome to the club, Matt.
Yeah, I was going to say, thanks again for having me on. And yeah, it definitely takes consistency there. Like you mentioned, it did, multiple follow-ups, and that's part of the reason why we build out mailer campaigns and help make that entire process more automated and simple to execute on and track. Because it does take consistency. And that was why we even started. Is David Lecko, our founder, was driving around and trying to pull over and write down, addresses on a notebook and try to figure out like how to heck to get in touch with somebody and like all of that. That process he made just much more simple for himself and easy using technology, and said, hey, why don't I try to do that for everyone? And Deal Machine was born. That was 2017, I believe. So you might have been on the earlier side of when we started. And we've definitely updated quite a bit since then. So I'm happy to walk everyone through that.
Yeah, let's dig in. So what are some of the updates as far as some of the stuff you guys got going on?
I was going to say, if you want, I can try to actually screen share. I don't know if that'll be easy.
Let's do that. Let me give you those permissions real quick. Good call. I should have thought that out before I.
No worries.
You are a co-host now, so you can do that.
Let's see here.
Alex might get jealous that I have a co-host.
Here, let me see here if we've got. Can you see a dashboard here? Maybe.
I do.
Hopefully. All right. So you've got Zach Booth right here as well in the middle and all this. Okay. Yeah. Perfect. Awesome. So really like to kind of give you all an update on this. Like you said, David, started as a driving for dollars app. It's still the anchor of anything we do, and really what makes us unique in the space period is really kind of taking that point of view of saying, hey, driving for dollars is a very valuable strategy. It's something that you're, especially for people who are just getting into real estate and they're looking to generate their first deals. Like, this is a way to create a list of unique leads that no one else has, that no one else can market to. The features we built out on top of that make the tracking of that much easier. It makes you able to import other data that you have to build out a full list, and helps you use this driving for dollars list and combine that with other data that we have that other people have access to as well. But putting those two things together make a really robust list that you can modify over time and really help you find the best deals possible. So yeah, happy to kind of walk you through what we have here, the latest. But this is our web app. Obviously, mobile is fantastic to download if you're going to be in your car and driving around and looking for properties that have really long, tall grass in the front, or have siding missing, or have holes in their roof, or various distress signals, right? So having the mobile app's going to help you do that. But doing the actual desktop version here, it's pretty similar. You can see, we have a variety of different educational materials right when you jump on here. So if your users want more pro tips around how to if your group wants more pro tips on how to use the app more effectively, and how to really see ROI from this strategy, this will be consistently updated with new webinars and new materials that we put out as well. You can see here, I'm logged into Josh, who is our head of enterprise on our side. So he's very, very proactively practicing what we preach. Has a ton of deals in here as well. So we all are driving for dollars fanatics over here now too. Have to be it ourselves if we're gonna teach others to do it right. But going in here, you can see this dashboard, gives you just general basic analytics around deals added and timelines over that. The map is really the view that this is probably what you might be used to within the app as well. We've definitely updated quite a bit of this around route tracking and things like that since you've last used it. But this map view, being able to easily see, okay, here's where I'm based. Here's my routes that I've gone in the past. It'll help you automatically track that. Or if you have a driving team as well, you can have them record their routes in here too. So that way you can see exactly everything, every street that you've covered and what's going on there. If you zoom in here a bit, especially if you're hiring a driving team,
Well, yeah, especially then, but also if you're just two guys who just take a bunch of turns down neighborhoods you don't know, so you have no idea.
Flying around Hawaii. Right. Exactly. Yeah. So hopefully, this was one of our top requests when we first launched the app. So hopefully that, that's been a pretty, it's been something we've really focused on. When you can see each individual property, that when you click on them, you've got, 412 Maywood Avenue here. You can see, owner occupied. You can actually skip trace right from here. So if you click on that live, you can see what phone numbers come up, what email addresses. You can either, call them on the spot or start mailers on the spot as well. But you can see on here, you can actually go down, see the full data around, the size of it, the size of the property, the equity amount, if we can see that in here. If you've added to any lists on your end, even put notes in here as well. If you want to run around and say, oh, actually this property owner was out front and we talked to them, here's what they said about, their house or their neighbor's house, or, things like that. So kind of use this as a one-stop shop for including all of your information around this property. So you can easily, the map is the main view that I would say, jump in and start driving and start using this to generate your first deals. Like, this is a great way to even get into finding your first leads. Beyond that, I would say this lead feature, this was, I know, David, on your end, this was something new that we actually launched within the last couple of months, but this is actually a free CRM on our end. We launched it just as a way to organize and manage all of your leads. So that way, really, you have your street engine, which is our driving for dollars map that I showed you. You have this free CRM to track all those leads and to make sure you know where they are in your process. And then the list engine is the third prong. I'll get into that after this, but that'll be your other complementary strategy to everything you're doing. But this lead engine or this CRM, this lead portion of it, similar deal. You click on a property, you can actually import any properties that you have as well. So like, David, if you have a Excel file, or you can convert any other lists of addresses that you have into a CSV file. Just put all that together and import that here into your deal machine CRM, and all of that will actually fill out any data that we have behind that property address. So say you have a list of 1,000 addresses in the past that you've written down, throw that in here and it'll auto populate all of that totally for free. So that way you can get to know more about this owner and see the everything around phone numbers and skip tracing right on the spot there. That's an option. Sale date, any data that we have behind those properties will automatically import into here. I know, this is actually something that is a smart CRM as well. So it's going to continuously update, if we have any more accurate skip tracing information, or, if you want to filter out your leads by a particular list on here, all of those that you've created in the past, all those lists that you put in here in the past will also continuously update, so you can really, go in here and tag and say, okay, this is a particular list that is within, a certain qualification, or you can go in here and bulk tag them and click this top left corner and say, all right, I want to start sending mailers to all these people at once. It really is pretty customizable around how you can, properly showcase all this data logically, or start marketing together them all together. So any questions there, or anything come up so far on the live, or?
Yeah, I've been trying to pay attention. I don't see questions yet. We've got some people watching for sure. So, hey, if you guys are watching this and you have questions on Deal Machine, like now is the time to ask, because we've got the people on the call. So absolutely. And if you're watching this on the recording, then I don't know, pay more attention in the future. No.
For when it goes live.
But yeah. Make sure you're quicker so you can get in on the goods. But this is really cool. I mean, obviously the driving tracking is cool, but like having the CRM built into all of your leads is super beneficial. Like that saves so much time and energy.
Yeah, and really being able to go through and do this in a way that you can get very custom, like just add one property at a time and really get in there and be very specific about the notes. Or you can do this in bulk, where you can go through and, like I said, check all this entire list and say, yeah, let's start mailers to this whole list. Let's start sending direct mail to them, or let's skip trace all of them. We want to make it as customizable or as quick as possible based on if you're an individual investor or if you're an enterprise investor that has thousands of leads and multiple drivers and things like that. So yeah,
is there a way to set it up to where, like, let's say I wanted to mail this list, would I be able to set it up to where it was like it automatically sent out 3 or 4 mailers at certain times, or do I need to manually go in and would I be able to go off the date from the last time that a mailer was sent, or what's the best way to try to do that?
Yeah, so that's actually something we spent a lot of time updating as well. So this mailers tab here, you can actually go in and create specific campaigns. So your template is what each individual mailer says. Your campaign is, okay, let's put 4 or 5 of these mailers together and create a campaign around, okay, if this is an owner occupied property, then step 1 is it's going to send this particular postcard and repeat that every 15 days 2 times. So it's automatically going to trigger this. Step 2 is send 30 days, twice in a row. Repeat every 30 days 2 times. Step 3 is, repeat that again. Then step 4, 20 days. And each of these particular templates, like this last notice, you can see, you can go through and actually create a very specific template to fit that stage of your campaign. So that way, like you said, you can go in and it'll trigger and say, okay, send this particular postcard on this day because we know they've already seen these other postcards from us, or we tried to reach out to them this many times. So this idea of this kind of automated drip campaign, that is all customizable in here as well.
And that's great, because they say it takes like 6 or 7 touches for somebody to, oftentimes on average, for somebody to actually sell their house or want to sell their house to you, or and maybe that's just luck of the draw for the fact that circumstances change every 90 to 180 days or whatever for people. But I think that's really cool because it's very easy when you get into, for those of you who aren't super familiar with like heavy marketing, it's super easy to send off a mailer and then that's it.
You forget about it.
So yeah. So whether you forgot about it or you're like, oh, they didn't get back to me, they don't want to sell their house, or
Sure.
and so the power is in the follow-up, right? Like if you send out 1,000 postcards and one person wants to sell their house, but think if you send out the same 1,000 houses 7 times, right? So you sent out 7,000, but you didn't have to spend the time finding those other 1,000 homes. If you're doing like driving for dollar or whatever, right? You just send it to the same 1,000. And what if 7 deals, 8 deals, 9 deals, 10 deals? I mean, you never know what's going to come out of that. We just ran a fairly successful text blasting campaign, but it wasn't the first time we had texted that list. And the first time we had texted that list, it was not successful at all. So I don't really know what the difference was. I don't know, maybe post-COVID or something like that. But and so it's important to stay on top of people. And I'm terrible at following up. So being able to set this up and just let it roll would be, oh my gosh, that would make my life so easy.
Yeah, it saves you time. And then, yeah, consistency is key. Like you said, it takes 6 or 7 postcards to be able to get someone in, you know, on average, to be able to get somebody to answer you. But yeah, I really liked your tip earlier as well, too, where you said like you took a picture and maybe you or your buddy was in the picture. Like, you know, things like that, just include a little personality and to show that you're a real person and you're not just some bot spamming them. But, you know, like including a picture of your family or your dog or, you know, something like that to show like there's a real person on the other side of this, you know, postcard, really goes a very long way too. So great pro tip there by you. But
I don't know that was on purpose, but that's funny.
Hey, worked out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the last bit here too, so I can jump into the list feature for you as well. So you have your driving for dollars, you know, you're creating a custom list that only you have and that you found, you know, through driving, or you've hired a team to drive for you. You know, we even have an option through here as well on putting together your own deal finding team. So, you know, it helps you try to recruit even, you know, an Uber driver or a Lyft driver or somebody who's already out and about and driving, you know, offering them to say, hey, will you be my bird dog and go look for deals for me, and you know, pay them that way. That's a whole nother strategy that you can dig in on this platform as well. But, you know, if you're consistently driving for dollars, you've got that, you and your team, you have that free CRM that's tracking all of it. This list building engine is a really complementary way to really use our data in a way that's going to bulk have you cover a ton of property. Like it really pulls these large lists of leads for sellers based on data about your property, and helps you stay top of mind on entire areas outside of just your driving for dollars. So what you can go in here and do actually is if you click build list here, you can choose, you know, say I'd choose just any zip code here in St. Louis, you know, pick a spot that way. Go in and you can do some big, you know, large list like, you know, all absentee owners in my zip code that, here we go, that you can do, maybe it was sold over 10 years ago. You can see, oh, there's 620 leads that would fit that within these parameters. So, you know, you can start there and make some big list and have that automatically updated into your CRM and start marketing to that list. Or you can try to get a little bit more niche and say, hey, I'm looking for, you know, pre-foreclosed properties that, or even like vacant properties, you know, in this area. So you've got 163 leads down here. So you can get as small a niche within a particular area. You know, you can even literally draw the area. So you can scoot back here and actually, you know, go through the map and click and say, hey, I'm gonna just pick this property. So you've got 9 leads that are vacant within that particular area. So you can get very, very specific that way too. But going in and being able to do that and create an actual list through that, and then see, you know, I'll click on one of Josh's old lists here. You know, you can see within this area the breakdown of how many of those have we improved and actually sent marketing to, and, you know, actually sent an offer to, and you can really get granular on what's the ROI of this list and this strategy, and see how many deals have we won, or you know, where they are in the process. So it ties in really nice and neat with the CRM, and this is just a way to say, okay, let's use all the data available to us and combine that with our original list that we're driving for dollars, and put that all together within the CRM.
Yeah, that's really powerful to be able to do. So that's kind of like, I mean, list source, right? List source is like the old school go-to for pulling lists for all this stuff, but I don't think it's nearly as intuitive as what you just showed. And the fact that this is all in one place and ties directly into your CRM is huge. I mean, because I remember pulling lists and you're like, great, I got this Excel document. Now I need to get letters sent or call them or text them or however I feel like marketing to them. And then I have to roll that into a CRM. So having it all in one place like this is just super powerful. And I like that, like, it just seemed very intuitive how you drew on the map. I've seen some places where you like try to draw and like it never closes the box and you can't like, it just
Can't line
stinks.
everything up. Yeah.
I've gotten frustrated
Yeah.
trying to wonder why I can't figure out like why it's not in Crayola for me. And so it's just, it doesn't work out as well sometimes. So that's really cool that you guys have built that in with I mean, it's beta still, but I mean, even in beta stage, that's really cool. Oh, look, Jin just liked the video. So shout out to him for introducing me to Deal Machine.
Love it.
Yeah, but that's really cool. And that's super intuitive that you can build that in. So you don't just have to use the app for driving for dollars anymore. You can wrap everything in, which is cool.
Yep. And that was why we built it was we were importing and exporting our data between all these different sources. And you're like, man, if I'm driving for dollars already, it would be so nice to include all that data within one CRM that you could just easily have updating, this list here, you can turn on a smart list. So that's where I was saying, hey, if you have a property within your particular criteria pop up, like that will automatically, add to that or take away from it. So that way, if you're thinking about marketing or you're currently marketing to a property that isn't vacant any longer, or, doesn't fall under one of these pieces of criteria, to automatically adjust for that. And you can sync your marketing to this list too. So that way you can, whenever a new deal does come in here or a new house does come into that criteria, it'll automatically start sending mailers to it too. So being able to really,
cool.
being able to keep up with this and combine your driving for dollars with this kind of bulk approach and do it all in one easy CRM without having to import and export all this data all the time. That's why we've evolved the product to fit this, is we've heard that feedback over and over again from our users.
So let me make sure that I got this right with the smart list and the sync marketing smart list. Theoretically, if I said, hey, in this zip code, I want to target an absentee homeowner with this much equity with, whatever that criteria was, then anytime a home reached that criteria that wasn't on my list, it would just start sending.
Just put it in there.
Without me knowing.
Exactly. Yep. So that is, you can go in there and check it, obviously, and like be able to track that. But yeah, the goal with this is how do we save you time if something's already going to fit your exact criteria? Then like, hey, let's make it automatically start seeing your face on a postcard.
That's huge. Like, that's super cool. That you could, I did not realize that. And I am, absolutely going to be utilizing more of this. Cause I just that's cool. Cause instead of having to go and pull the same list every 6 months to a year and mail, it just goes. And you could even set it up looks like you could set it up to where it's like an indefinite, like every 6 months, it just sends another postcard for like 2 years, 3 years, whatever, whatever your time frames are. So you could set it up to where you send one, a month later, you send another, 60 days, 90, 120 or 180, that's cool. And it would just roll and you wouldn't have to pay any attention to it. And you could just keep tabs on that's awesome.
Yeah. That's basically our basic plan would get one list like that. And then Pro gets 2 and Enterprise gets unlimited. So that's that was the goal behind it.
Cool. You mind if we touch on pricing? If we run through kind of what those look like and what some of the differences are? Because I know people are going to ask that and they're going to go to the website and they're going to look anyway. So we might as well I like to be transparent. So
I'll pull that up and then for sure. Let me load that for you here too, so that way to answer a few questions. But I think again the CRM is free, so that's a great place to to be able to begin and be able to use any past data that you have, any other addresses. You have up to 50,000 leads here that you can manage. So you can pull them in and just start sending mailers through there, start skip tracing through there. You can even send ballpoint letters. So, we have teamed up to provide that as well, where, if you want an actual handwritten, looking handwritten letter like that, that's another way to stand out.
Is that teamed up with ballpoint letters, like the actual company ballpoint?
I actually, I'll have to double check
like something
on who our current
provider. So I know the guy who owns or runs Ballpoint, but I don't know like that Ballpoint's also like the style, so I wasn't sure if it was
Yeah,
Ryan
I
or
believe is it Ryan?
yeah.
Yes. Okay, cool. I
Okay.
believe it's through Ryan. So yeah,
Cool.
there you
Yeah,
go.
I like
Yeah.
for those of you listening, if you don't know who Ryan Dossie is, he's cool people. So stand by
Yep.
for my podcast with him soon.
There you go. Yeah. So we've teamed up with Ryan for that. And then, yeah, that's kind of, the CRM, you can start there for free. You've got the Street Engine, which is our driving for dollars, most common application within Deal Machine. Basic is $49 a month. And, that includes really going through and getting a large list with one person driving around on your team. Some pricing, 55 cents for mailers from there, 17 cents for skip tracing. Only $1.75 for the ballpoint letters, so you can kind of mix and match with that and create mailer campaigns that have ballpoint letters or mailers, or kind of mix it up a little bit. And then professional, is one of our most common approaches, the $99 a month. That gets you 2 team members, so that route tracking becomes much more important then as well.
Yeah.
So that way you don't, you cover land together and who's been where. And then our enterprise level is really, if you're doing a ton of deals, you're really already in an advanced level. Like our goal is, how do we help you? We have some users who are just using us a little bit and just getting into real estate. We have some users who they are at a big company that's flipping all kinds of houses every month, or wholesaling, or whatever it might be. And our enterprise can scale up to meet their needs. Also list engine as well. So that would be on top of that. The 1 per month would be $29, and then 2 per month is $49. And enterprise is unlimited. So this would be another natural add-on of, okay, if we're doing our original list through driving for dollars, we're doing the CRM, how do we cover more area, add on the list engine. So
Awesome. Yeah, that's super cool. And just so much there. And I really like the way you guys have integrated everything. I think that's phenomenal. So, and it's cool to see that you guys work with Ballpoint. So
yeah, that's
Small
great.
world.
So, yeah, they've, I know it's been exciting to really kind of start as that driving for dollars specific niche, and then realize there's so much value beyond that we can help naturally extend to people. So that's where the CRM came from. That's where this, the list engine came from. So definitely keep in touch about what's next, and would love to be back on to continue to update your audience. And I don't know, do you want to share your specific promo code and deal that would be offered through you as well, so that way people can get discounts and whatnot?
Yeah, absolutely. So I will be sure to put this down below if you're watching on the YouTube video, but it's in the comments already. My promo code is Military Millionaire, and that gets you 20 credits for free. So if you're going to check it out, might as well use the promo code and get a little bit of free bonuses thrown in there. And also, I don't know, it's just cool. So you're welcome. Or I'm welcome, or I don't know. Yeah. So anyway, you guys all know that I don't let people come in and talk to the group if it's not a platform that I've used personally and or believe in, or both, usually both. And in this case, it's both. So I'm definitely a fan of Deal Machine. I've done a deal through Deal Machine. I've, if nothing else, their skip tracing has gotten me on the phone with several different people. So I remember standing in front of a burned out house, and the neighbor was like, "I'm not going to tell you whose house it is, but it's been burned for a year and we want it to be fixed." It's like $1 million house in Hawaii. And we were able to just pull it up on Deal Machine and call the guy right there on the spot and talk to him. Now, granted, he was convinced that insurance was going to cover it a year and a half after it burned down, and they hadn't covered it, but yeah, whatever.
Hey,
you can't win them all, but at least you got a hold of the guy, right? So
yeah,
it's cool.
Awesome. Thanks again for having me on too.
Dude, no, thanks for joining us, and I really appreciate it. And I know everybody else did, and I need to remember. Oh, there's how I stopped the live stream. So you all have a great day. All right, live stream is done.
Nice.
Dude, that was actually really seamless. So we got some
what'd
views
you
on
think?
it, and then the YouTube will go well. Dude, that was super cool. I mean, the CRM, everything's cool, right? Like everything's all good, but the tying it into where it automatically pulls a new house and starts marketing, that's super cool.
It's huge. Yeah, that's it's been exciting, man. I mean, like I've